Our first speaker today, something unique about him you don't know. Number one, he was top, because he's old now, top 30 under 30 for Canada for Remax. Pretty awesome. That Remax is big in Canada. Top 30 to 30. Another thing you don't know about him is he types over 300 words per minute. So help me welcome to the stage, all the way from Canada, Michael Duggal, everybody. Come on up here.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Get this party started. So I've been licensed for a great 10 years now. I actually grew up with a real estate family. As you can see that picture at the top left, that's myself at a young age. On the left with Mr. Mike Ferry himself, the godfather of real estate coaching. My parents are both in the business, my sister as well, as you can see on the top right. And I was exposed in my household to growing up learning objection handlers, learning the listing presentation, and that helped me to understand that when I get my license in the future, business is not going to come to me. We have to go out and find it every single day, whether that's buyer prospects, seller prospects, agents, go out and find it. So now I'm personally about 60 frontliners. I never wanted to be that agent that doesn't have their 6th level unlocked and 7th level unlocked, like we're seeing over here. So for me, this is what's working well. When people join my organization, I teach them how to list property. So that's my value proposition. I would recommend that you have one as well. My last year at Remax, I was recognized as one of the top 30 agents under the age of 30. And how this happened specifically was, and this is by gross commission income, and how that happened was focusing on making prospecting calls to sellers 3 to 5 hours every single day. I track my numbers religiously. You can see, if you look at the ratios, 48,000 contacts were made from 2013 to 2019, ends up being about 100 contacts per listing appointment. I actually published these numbers on Reddit, and it got a lot of attention. Nobody saw the number of days prospected. I sacrificed I sacrificed a lot in my 20s. I don't regret it one bit. Let's go. Yeah. And one way to produce bigger is to think bigger. So I challenge everybody to have your morning mindset. No exceptions whatsoever. It must be followed. I'd recommend that you take a picture of this, share it with somebody that you care about. This is what I consider the perfect 10 for transformation. 10 minutes of meditation, gratitudes, prayers, reading new material, studying new material. Did anybody review their notes yesterday after going back to the room? All right, great job. Yeah, I was at this convention last year as well and took away some great pointers. And definitely recommend always making the time to study. There's so much good education out there. Listening to training, 10 affirmations, say them every day. And don't just say them to say them. Say them with passion. This is the best day of my life. Really feel it. Why do we do that? It gets our energy up. And of course, 10 conversations with new prospects or leads every single day. Massive action, like Tony Robbins says. Massive action every single day, massive results. Thank you, Brent, Gove. So 2020, I was wondering, what's next? Although I really enjoyed being a high-performing real estate listing agent, at the end of every year, I'm sure everybody can relate. You think to yourself, there has to be a better way. What about passive income? And so I looked at this model, and like I'm sure many of you did, wonder, is it too good to be true? It's not too good to be true, right? And so this is how to get started with agent attraction. This is a good list. If you haven't taken the time to call every agent that you've done a transaction with in the past from your prior company, I'd highly recommend it first thing once you get back. I've personally attracted several agents that way. Pay them a compliment. Joe, it was great working with you. I was very impressed by the way that transaction was handled when we did it together. And I've personally attracted a few agents this way. Except that this is it's a new skill, new behaviors. You need to be a leader. I'd recommend you take a picture of this. These are some very powerful books. The first one, Extreme Ownership. That's taking ownership in every area of your life. Do not blame your upline if you're not performing. It's on you, right? Somebody leaves your organization, understand why. Have a conversation with them. You have to keep your ego in check. The second book, Building an Empire. This really helps you to understand the vision, duplication, leading by example. And whenever you get thinking, I don't have time to read, look at these very inspiring individuals here. They are leaders. Warren Buffett reads about 500 pages every single day. Let's go. You want to treat agent attraction like a real business. So we have a CRM for our buyers, our seller prospects. We need to have a CRM for agents. So me and my virtual assistants personally use Trello. It works for us. After having a conversation with an agent, we add them to Trello. You can see this checklist at the bottom that populates. So we add them on all the social media platforms. We also get them up on our email list. And so what happens? The next conversation we have with them, it's a very warm conversation because they're used to seeing us, especially if we're on social media. And then you have your follow-up date always set. Never put a lead there without putting a follow-up date there. There's no point of adding them. Agent attraction, recognize that personality styles maybe even matter more so than based on production. You would not explain EXP to an expressive the same way you would to an analytical personality style. With the analyticals, you can send them several videos. They're going to do their research. They're going to really look at the numbers. With the expressives, they may get turned off by the numbers. Sell them on the fun. Sell them on the collaboration. You know one of the greatest things about expressive personality styles? Most of their friends are also expressives. So I've attracted one expressive, and she brought a handful of other expressive personalities. So really recognize this. I think a lot of agents make the mistake of explaining the EXP model or over-explaining it to the wrong personality style. How often are you attending training on agent attraction? If there's one takeaway you can get from this event, please put it in your weekly schedule, better off in your daily schedule. We have people like Brent to learn from, Gene. I've watched many of their trainings several times. So these are 4 videos which really help me with agent attraction. And Brent Gove, in this video over here, it's a role play example. So he took a warm lead, a cold lead. He demonstrated how that was done. Nicole Russo explaining her process. It's brilliant. Nicole has a virtual assistant shadow her every day and basically plug in notes into the CRM. I like that. I watched that training. I said, I'm going to do that too. So very great. Bill 2021 with Jay Kinder. This really helps you to understand the strategy, the tactics around agent attraction, because he spoke about the 3-way call and how to divide your time between attracting to your front line, attracting to your organization, as well as agent retention. And of course, the famous Gene Frederick napkins presentation. How great is that? Really helps you understand the difference between EXP versus a traditional model. So the great news, I have this training for you in a playlist. If you send me a message on Instagram saying EXP, I'll send you the link to this playlist. At the same time, if you have your phones out, share me to your story. Make sure you tag me. I'll share you back. It'll both help us for our visibility for our prospects. Here's a script for agent attraction. Number 1, you tell them you're in a hurry. People like doing business with people who are busy, or they'll listen to you, right? So you call them, you say, hey, Joe, it's Michael Duggal. I've got a million things going on, but it was important that I connected with you. Number 2, you pay them a compliment. I really like what you're doing on social media, and I have to applaud you for that. Number 3, you're asking them for their opinion on the model. I've recently come across a brokerage which is revolutionizing the way real estate transactions are taking place. If I sent it to you, don't share it with anyone. Would you take a moment to look at it? And then number 4 is you get the triple commitment. Get the triple. This is important. You have to role play these things, just like buyer and seller prospects. Role play. So number 4, you get the triple commitment. What that looks like is number 1, will you watch it? Number 2, when will you watch it by? They're going to say Monday. You say great. So if I call you back on Monday, you would have had a chance to watch it, right? And then they'll say yes. Move them forward. You want to block out 2 days a month to do all your social media content. You can see the platforms at the very bottom. That's where I'm posting: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. That's WhatsApp. Yes, you can post on WhatsApp. There's a WhatsApp status. That's how to hit your prospects that aren't on social media. LinkedIn, and then we've recently started adding on Twitter too. This is how often you should be posting. 1 YouTube video a week, Make sure you're emailing that video out to your prospects. 2 reels every single day. 4 picture posts per week, and 10 stories a day. With respect to the reels, you can see this one on the right-hand side, 2.3 million views. You will never know what will hit. That's the beauty of putting in reels. And I mean, it's just me talking with some nice lighting and a microphone. I wasn't even outside of my house. You can do it too. The great thing about reels, you can put them on other platforms. You can put them, of course, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp. And then 10 stories a day. We're at this conference. You should be posting stories. Did anybody see Brent play volleyball yesterday? It's on my story. Brent, you were awesome. I saw I saw him win a point, right? So you could post 20, 30 stories every single day. Why not? People watch them because it's unpolished content. It's not high production quality, and it really helps to build trust with your audience. This poll on Instagram has been a very effective recruiting tool. You see the poll, have you considered eXp Realty? Yes, tell me more. No, why should I? The good news is, as long as they vote, you know who it is. and you can start a conversation with them. Please, don't be intimidated. Both questions serve you. So don't be intimidated by this. Social media platforms have made it very easy and user-friendly for you because they want you on their platform, right? And many of you have kids who are teenagers or in their young 20s. Give them your phone. Trust me, they'll know how to do this. Make your content unpredictable. This is the way you're going to retain followers and always keep people watching. This is called the transition reel. You can see that text there, joining, thank you. You can see the text there, joining eXp is transformational. The pro tip here that I don't see a lot of people doing is they'll publish a reel, but then they just allow it to sit there. What you want to do, send the reel out to people. So I would publish something like this, look at my wealth chart, who are my hot prospects, send the reel out to them and say, I made this and I was thinking about you. Attend events. Don't be the family member that doesn't come to the family reunion, right? The collaboration, the high-level training, it's incredible. You can see Grant Cardone over there, right? It's really good for your social media. When you're at these events, you'll get a lot of watches on your content. People will be speaking about it. It blows my mind. Like, how could you possibly sell people on eXp without getting to the events? The events are awesome, right? Have an onboarding process for any agents that you attract, whether it's a front line, second, third, fourth line. If you think about it, these agents that have partnered with you at eXp, they've trusted you, right? They've said goodbye to their broker. They're leaving those Christmas parties. So don't just allow them to join the company and be in front of a computer looking for help. So I help them as far as the business cards. You can see structures, day 1, 2, 3, etc., 1 week in. And this as well teaches them how to really run and create their own business for themselves. And then they're very aware that the conversations I have between myself and them are based on growth, are based on production. How do we get you to the next level? I personally built out a video course for any agent that joins my organization of how to get from 0 to 50 transactions per year. So that's the first thing that they get. They study that, and then that puts them on the right track. I'd recommend you do it too. Recognize your partner agents, whether they've capped, whether it's top agent of the month, people seem to love that, whether it's their anniversary. Why is this good? It's social proof. Your agent prospects see it on social media. At the same time, the person whom you're recognizing, they get to post it on their feed. It keeps them encouraged. You can see whether the activity is making calls, posting on social media, or door knocking, they're always up for the challenge. And recognizing your partner agents for their anniversary, that one's big. We've been blessed to be a part of your incredible growth in this industry. And stay connected to your partner agents. Whether it's Zoom, meeting, you can see here at the top right, we were at a Mike Ferry convention here in Toronto. About 40 people from our group went. That's my sister and my mom along with Mr. Glenn Sanford at Sprint. Especially those that don't come to trainings, don't come to events, pick up the phone and call them. This happened recently. I called one of the agents that hadn't been attending our trainings, and I said, hey, what's going on with you? And he said, Michael, I was actually considering leaving the company. It's funny you called. We fixed his problem. He's here. He's happy. Make sure you reach out to your partners. And speaking of staying connected, stay connected with me. Connect with me on social media. I'm always learning new things to add to my arsenal, so you'll see that in video. And I'll be hanging out probably by the beach. Come say hi to me. Let's have a great conversation. Feel free to ask me questions. I thank you all for being a great audience. All right.
Hello.